is absolute dynamite. And boom, it goes.
And boom, the layout goes. Slusta and Decran are on the move. To Decran!
Welcome to the London Invite 2025 here on a beautiful Sunday morning. It is sunshine for everyone here in London as we're in the Open Division, the 5 to 8 semis, as we have Bristol Open taking on the Goannas, Australia U24. Liam Grant joined by CJ Colicchio. Great to have you on the mic, CJ.
Thank you, Liam. Really excited to be here. Honestly, it has been a gorgeous spring in the UK. And today is just another beautiful day. The sun is out. The wind is not very blustery, not as bad as it was yesterday. I'm ready for some good open ultimate.
Yeah, definitely a drop in wind speed today. Significantly less than it was certainly yesterday afternoon. So probably going to see a lot cleaner games than we saw throughout the weekend. Not sure if these Bristol boys went to the pub last night.
I do like it, which, I mean, to be fair.
Looks like that's Dom Knight issuing out the orders for Bristol Open. Don't think he's going to be taking the field today by his outfit.
No, Coach DK today, he's in his coaching era. Yeah, with Dom out and I think a couple guys not 100%, it'll be interesting to see depth of this Bristol Open roster. You know, some guys nursing some hamstring injuries. Obviously, this is not where you want to get results. You want to build for that postseason aspirations that Bristol fell short on last year. So let's see how they do today.
Do you get to play against Bristol at all this season?
Not yet. Not me. I know that they've played half of Smash D, but I was not there. So I think that's why they won. Don't think a couple of the guys on Bristol like guarding me very much. So they probably took advantage of me not being on the team.
Was this at Wind Farm, was it?
This was at Wind Farm, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of did Smash D as well, but I don't think that was the full smash. As Goannas come out here on offense. And again, that Bristol zone, which was very effective at the Wind Farm tournament. Dungy is able.
Wind is starting to pick up right now, as we, of course, we say that it is not blustering that bad, but it is changing in direction. Yesterday it was much more upwind, downwind. It's feeling a little bit more crosswind. The Goannas look to penetrate the zone here from Bristol.
And it looks like that kind of soft arrowhead zone. That's what I'd call it maybe from Bristol. 3 players up top.
I really like the fact that I'm seeing almost like a mountain range out there from smallest to biggest in terms of their arrowhead. And each guy with a different size, just trying to keep the disc in front of them. Goannas really not offering their handlers too much, if I'm honest. Pistoning from the poppers as the hammer goes across, and just a little bit over the top. Can't come down with the grab. Good hammer shot, though.
Launches that hammer cross field. It was ambitious. Had enough energy and spin on it, but maybe just a little too much. Bristol waiting with, don't waste any time and fire deep straight away, but that not on. 2 Goannas. Sandwich the smaller man.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing Warnock being the one going for the deep shot. He's known to get a bucket or two, but usually he's the one throwing those. So it'll be interesting to see if he is the deep threat for today.
Bristol straight back into the zone. Again, not as windy today as it was yesterday, so a bit easier perhaps for the Australians as they fire one down the line. Warnock didn't see that one coming. Big jailbreak now for Australia. Dungy with some beautiful give-go action. Now the transition to match defense. As Noah Moss gets the reset. Good transition defense here from Bristol. Forcing the Aussies to take a lot of swings. A poach in the lane comes stealing in to win it back for Bristol.
Really smart defensive play from number 44. I believe that is Darren Yu. Maybe just an injury.
Interesting that maybe there's a call coming from number 38 there. It did look like the Australian mate had a line at the disc. Almost 3 players going for that vagrant swing. Not sure if any of the Bristol lads were going to get there.
Yeah, it looks like they've come to slapping hands in terms of consensus, but I think they were just checking to make sure that they're both okay. Which is good to see. We don't want to see an injury in a game like this, especially with Goannas going off to 24s very, very soon.
I don't know if dangerous play was called there or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what's being called. I don't particularly feel like it was a foul from Dane Kluken.
It looked like he had a good path to the disc. I think Bristol player didn't actually see Goannas player, and I think that the onus and responsibility is actually still on the offensive player to make sure that he's hitting into an area that isn't preoccupied by somebody else. Looks like it's going to be a turn, which I believe is the correct call. Goannas going to have the disc 10 meters outside the end zone. See if they can be more patient this time. I think Bristol's doing a good job of keeping them at bay, and they need to just not throw it into spots where they're poaching into.
Noah Moss with the big swing around. And Bristol doing very well to prevent downfield options, having to work through their handlers here, the Aussies. Keeping possession, but aren't able to punch it in just yet. Very flat force at times from Bristol, but now a little tighter on the sideline there. They squeak it in, and that is a goal for Matthew Calder. That is the first goal of the game. It was a long point.
I love 7-minute opening points. It really gets the blood flowing. Yeah, bit of a marathon point, about 2 to 3 turns for each team. Not the cleanest offense that we're going to probably see today, and hopefully not in this game. But Goannas do get the dirty hold, as we like to call it, and jamming it down the jam hole.
I think the Bristol D-line will be happy with the turns they generated and the opportunities. Maybe disappointed that they never really converted. These are the shots they kind of want to force the Aussies to take. That big crossfield hammer, which looked like money for a few moments, but Calder unable to come up with that one.
Very interesting, again, looking at that Bristol Huck. Warnock, I mean, beating his guy deep, but there's clearly a defender poaching in that area. So even if the throw wasn't too long for Warnock to make a play onto it, he was going to have to deal with 2 defenders. So perhaps take a breath, see who the poach is on, and get it to that player.
You ever been to the Kennington Doghouse?
Kennington Doghouse?
It's one of the sponsors of this event, a pub. We'll have to go there.
Might have to go check it out. I don't have to work tomorrow.
I believe we do a Kennington Doghouse play of the game, so keep an eye out for that.
Okay, well, it was definitely not on that point.
No.
So we can watch that first point. I don't think we can worry about anything fantastic from that. But it can only go up from here.
So now we get a look at the Bristol O-line. There is a bit of a breeze, kind of going upwind on O here.
Ooh, a little jittery on that catch. But Eddie Mason with the disc in the center.
Woodbridge gets continuation down line. Good flow here from Bristol. Mason again.
Expect Mason to touch the disc a lot in this game.
Working the others well here. Gatewood.
I'm not really sure what stack Bristol's running right now. It started off as a side stack, but now it's just a hodgepodge. There is no discipline, but yet Goannas aren't really punishing them.
Yeah, the Goannas chasing shadows at the moment. Haven't really put a lot of pressure on Bristol. Good possession offense so far here for Bristol. Mason looked like he had it and goes for the barrel roll and gets ground stripped quite late in the catch.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He looked like he had a full hand on that, and as he, like you said, came to the ground stripped it. Unfortunate turn for Bristol. Goannas have it about half pitch, looking to get the first break of the game. And their first break opportunity is the deep huck goes up. Saucy flick huck that just pushes too much.
Turnbull put a bit too much mustard on that one. Looked like a good option for a while there. Miller's been great in the end zone all weekend long for the Aussie youngsters, but not connecting that time. As we look at this ground strip, see the 2 turnovers there and just not calibrating that wind. Both teams there. It's quite the roll. And it's Turner shepherding that one now.
Yeah, Woodbridge is not going to be happy with that huck, but you know what? Huck and D, and Australia give it right back. Not the cleanest ultimate that we're seeing so far from both of these teams. But again, Bristol, just like Australia, have the chance for the dirty hold around the reverse brick mark here.
Knocking on the doorstep now. Just a few yards shy. Fighting upfield as Mason gets the easy pop. And a hold just about. Another multi-turn point. You can see why these teams are in the 5-8 bracket.
Yeah. They're really demonstrating why they aren't playing in the semis right now. But it's a couple of things that we're seeing. It's decision making, it's execution. These are just things that, while Australia are going to want to fix these going into U24s, Bristol's also going to want to fix these going into regionals, or else they're going to be in jeopardy of having a finish in the postseason like they did last year, missing out on Euros with a pretty much fumbling the bag, as we call it. They did get the point there. I would like to see Bristol actually have a stack and run some stack discipline. I think that will make it a little bit easier for themselves. As you said, the Australians were really just chasing shadows, not really offering anything defensively, and Bristol really need.
The 2 semifinals also taking place right now, being streamed on ULTI.TV. Thank you so much for joining, becoming a member. We really appreciate it. Please support us wherever you can. Like and subscribe. All those lovely things. Sam Cameron pulling now for Bristol. Will we see that zone again?
Sure looks like it.
It proved effective for them at Wind Farm. Bring it back out here. Goannas doing well to swing and work those small pop passes to gain some yards.
There's 3 ways to beat a zone: over it, through it, and around it. And right now, Australia hasn't decided which one they want to do. That is a nice scoober over and around the zone. Have to connect that second level. Can't just keep playing it with the handlers.
Australia doing well to get past the zone and now being faced with the match defense. Beautiful teasing around swing. Honey now working the inside pass. Brilliant momentum from Australia. There's the shot, an almost block. You can see the Rats are always trying to sniff that one out, but just a little bit short on that occasion.
And Darren used second poach block in the end zone had he got his hand on that one. Really poor job from the Australian cutter to not clear out hard, which allows you to sit in that lane. Because he's still in the end zone, not finishing his cut, you get a chance, but it is a good throw from Australia to go up 2-1. And hey, get a clean point. No turns on that.
There is the sugar-coated scooper to keep the ball moving. I love that give-go continuation there. As you said, you has a nose for an old poach block, but just a bit shy on that one.
Yeah, probably better he didn't pull the trigger on that one. Could have been hurtful for her. But regardless, it's nice to see him in that area.
Interesting that Bristol beat Ranelagh, but it's Ranelagh who've progressed to the semi-finals.
That makes you happy?
Not sure. Been playing a lot with a few of the Ranelagh boys actually in the Irish Open Beach team this season that, dare I say, they might be friends. Nah, they're a great bunch of lads. But Bristol seems to be their bogey team sometimes.
There are just certain teams where everybody has their one team that they just completely just cannot get it together, and that is Bristol. Oh, really nice chest-high bid from the Goannas player, but Chris Allen able to come down with it. Wonder to see if Chris Allen will play too much today. Looked like he was a bit of a niggly hamstring. And again, not the tournament you want to get hurt in.
Chris Allen getting busy in the handler space. Here comes a big old buttery backhand to absolutely nobody.
To be fair, absolutely nobody should have got that. I don't know why he didn't get it.
After some good flowing offense, just a complete miscommunication. Now it's Aussies shooting deep, and there is somebody there. And Allen was close by, but can't stop that. And the easy punch in the end. Jake Upton fires it in. I think it is Zachary Zabel finishing it off for Australia. And that is a break.
First one of the game, and clean break there from the Goannas. And honestly, really nice grab. That was a second adjustment off of the bobble. But he stayed with it over Bristol defender here as we see the shot again. Powering outside in Huck. Chris Allen just gets maybe a fingertip on it, but he's able to, he really did just before the ground. Nicely done.
Yeah, Allen was close by, but unfortunately trimmed his fingernails this morning, so just couldn't get his paws on that one.
Let him grow. Just let him grow. At least that one. Can you imagine just having like really just like one really long nail? Which finger would you want to have a really long nail on?
That is a weird thought. Absolutely none, thank you very much. Line for the coffee pretty long this morning. I think it's Kush coffee. Did you have your Sunday morning coffee yet?
Not yet. This is going to be a between games thing. The real question is, at what time is it socially appropriate to go get the Jamaican cuisine over there at the truck? I had it about 3 times yesterday, and it was correct good. The oxtail. There it is.
I haven't got it yet. We're being provided other lunches, but I think I'm going to splash out for a bit of jerk chicken. You say the oxtail is better?
Oxtail is underrated. Underrated. Everyone talks about the jerk chicken, but I'm going to put it. I'll bet on the oxtail.
So Bristol back out on offense. Bit of a zone being thrown there from the Aussies. We're going downwind. Easy to unlock that zone with a hammer.
I played indoors against Warnock a few times. He's got that hammer. He really likes it.
Bristol with a high flying forehand to get the reset to Warnock. Very flat force from the Aussies. And just attacking the front corner, a great goal for Dan Yu. He's been exceptional this game.
Elliot Parnell tossing out the push pass goal. Yu with the reception for the goal. All right, he's having a pretty solid game for Bristol so far.
Push pass kind of went out of trend there for a while. The lefty backhand's coming in, the offhand backhand. You're not seeing as much push passes anymore. But I like it in that situation where you're just kind of popping it, trying to sit it up for someone in a very short space. The one thing you don't want to throw is a forehand, that's all I know.
That's absolutely right. The fact that those forehands come out so fast and the slightest misadjustment from the receiver just usually results in a goal line turn. And right there, I mean, just put it out in front. Let your receiver go make a play.
Bring back the push pass. Loving seeing it here.
Let's play with a guy who had a 30-yard push pass.
I think I did 30 yards.
Yeah?
I've never lost a push pass competition. Closest is Richard Harris. Gash. Rich Gash has a very long push pass. Tad Whistle.
Tad Whistle, that's the guy who I was talking about. Tad Whistle has a very, very great push pass.
I beat him in a push pass competition.
You are
I lost.
You are a
I
king
lost
among
to
men.
Gash, but it was just a poor performance for me. But no, he's a bigger scuba than me, though. They're my only two throws. I'm rubbish at throwing everything else.
See, I had the benefit of learning a scuba from Brian Jones, the no-look scuba man himself.
Will Martin got a big scuba.
Big huck, but that's where Sam Cam is.
Sweeping that one up.
Biggest guy on the field. I don't know how the Goannas guy did not see him back there.
Looked like Bristol had saw that set play coming, and Cam in a great position and a chance to break back here for Bristol. Getting animated on the sideline now, trying to hype up their team. That was very close to the sideline. Let's see if we get another look at that. Oh, that was out to me. I think he did touch the line.
He is on the line, unfortunately. I think they are coming to that resolution now.
Great effort to try and stay in bounds, but just caught the edge of that line even. Almost in, but not.
Didn't have to go to the VAR, though, so that's good. Come to that agreement. Oh, Warnock hunting for the poach D.
Yeah, this is a strong line here for Bristol on defense. Dangerously low throw.
Take a look at that one, too. See, everyone coming around to the thing.
I can tell you the top-down look is very difficult to make an assessment on an up-down. Too hard from that camera one angle.
We don't have the zoom in, unfortunately. Can't really come to some sort, but they do agree that it was down, so.
I think good spirit from both sides here, willing to listen to their opponents, take on their point of view.
It's good to see Bristol with some good spirit. Love to see it. Everyone's growing.
Warnock going the wrong direction right now. Gets that inside throw, but the run, Trudy, fantastic from Australia. That is Moss. And now the short field for the Aussies.
Yeah, that's just a classic case of tunnel vision there, staring down your receiver, and your receiver not running through disc. Easy D for the Goannas player as they're about 15 meters outside the end zone, looking to punch in this hold, continue their lead.
Zabel teased one out. Not sure if he jumped that one in. Being called not in, which I think is the correct call, but a push pass of their own.
It's coming back. We are so back.
Love to see it. Noah Moss this time, as is often the case, tries to jump it in the end zone, but wasn't even really close that time.
What would you reckon the percentage of travels are for people that tried to go?
I would say over 50%.
Yeah, I'd say over 50% too. It's almost certainly higher than 50% too. because their foot is usually down when they jump. And they're like, no, I was in. I was like, you definitely weren't.
As you see the run through D there, and I like that quick pickup from Australia. Get 1 or 2 yards to start things off before Bristol really set up on defense. But now just some dump swing offense.
I would really like to see Bristol have some better marks here. They are getting beat around too easily. And this is an example coming up on this around throw. As he breaks the mark there. And then this one follow up with the upline cut.
Yeah, completely bites on it.
It's just not good enough. It's not good.
Like to me, he was still had contact with the ground before jumping it into the end zone. Good effort though.
Yeah, I mean, solid effort. Could have been worse. He could have fumbled it and just dropped it trying to jump. I've seen that happen way too many times. I've probably been guilty of that, honestly. Looking around at other games, it's like 5 apiece between Blueprint and I believe that is no good. And then, of course, we have the classic England matchup of Chevron, Clapham, 5-4.
Bristol making light word of things, driving downfield, finding a much easier score in this downwind end zone. Mason again being given the task of orchestrating this offense. And there comes a spicy hammer, but that one's on the money and a clean hold for Bristol.
A couple of really nice over-the-top throws. Love to see it. Tougher than you think. It's downhill, it's a little downwind, it's coming out a little bit faster than you normally would see it. Perfectly weighted, the Bristol receiver right over the Goannas player. See it again here. Yeah, really nice high stall count throw. The thought of the bid from the Goannas player, but probably good to pull out because I don't.
So, lovely clean hold from Bristol there, but now haven't been able to get a break yet on this Goannas side. Let's see what they do this time. Wind starting to pick up now.
A little chilly now that the sun has gone behind one of these many gray clouds here.
You see some of the Aussie Stingrays in the background there, warming up for their match. Half Australia here in London, the other half watching on ULTI.TV. Thank you very much.
Shout out to anybody who did the Cairns Ironman in Australia today.
Katie Flight?
Katie Flight.
And her dad?
And her dad.
What's her dad's name again?
Chris.
Chris Flight. Yeah.
Goat. Always impressive to see somebody, not saying Chris is old, but you know, anybody older doing an Ironman. I don't think I would be able to survive an Ironman, so fair play to both of them for finishing. Another push pass. It's so back.
Is that going to be our Kennington Doghouse play of the game?
It's whoever throws the best push pass. I can goad one of these Bristol boys into throwing one.
Again, very flat forces at times from Bristol, and keep trying to Sam Cameron. He's got magnets for hands. It's every time the Aussies hook it, it ends up in his arms.
Look at the size of his biceps. They're basically gravitational pulls. Fortunately, gravity works that way too. So a D from the Goannas player. It's just a very lazy throw, unfortunately, for Sam Cam. I think he's going to be frustrated with himself on that throw. The no step out, what we used to call the Justin Allen backhand.
He's got a weapon of a forehand, Sam, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. You'd have to. Look at the size of his arms.
Good pressure there from Bristol, but through the eye of a needle, zipping it down the far sideline and getting the hold. Bristol time have looked like they can generate blocks and get break opportunities, but don't really look like scoring them.
I was about to say, at what point does Bristol look at themselves and say, we need to hit one? We have to. It's not that, you know, Goannas are just punishing them. They're taking really bad looks. They're getting the disc on D, but they are just giving it right back to Goannas. And to be fair, Goannas are making some really good defensive plays. Like that defensive play on the around backhand was really good. The run-through block on the under was good. They are pressuring Bristol players.
Taking a moment to tie his shoelaces.
It's not a call anymore, so gotta be prepared out there.
Wouldn't have that problem with Tokay cleats, you know? Really high quality laces that stay tied up.
They never untie.
Did you watch the showcase game this evening?
I watched the more important showcase game, the children.
The children were great.
An incredible. Some of those kids are so talented at throwing the disc, and that was clearly the highlight of everybody's night. But yes, I did like to see the Tokay SuperTeam defeat Team USA. I know it's a hot take as an American, but I thought that they battled back really, really well. Some really, really fantastic plays. I thought Whitlock was incredible.
Yeah, player of the game for sure.
I think he was my player of the game. To guard and be guarded by Henry Ng and decisively win that matchup is no small feat. Henry Ng is a Goliath. Not saying that Whitlock is David by any stretch of the imagination, because he is very, very big. Kind of underwhelming from Team USA, if I was being honest. Thought they'd be more clinical.
Bristol really settling into their offense now, and I think particularly going downwind, the likes of Mason looks very comfortable.
You see that little wry smile he had? He thought about throwing that hammer to Chris Allen. Goes better, not.
Putting on a show for the fans at home. Charlie Dig Hero. Again, using that break backhand very effectively here. Lots of running around the front of the disc. Brilliant from Mason to climb the ladder and then dish it in.
An overall fantastic point by Eddie Mason all around. Some really good grabs, some really good throws, and of course a really good decision to throw a hammer, ill-advised. Get the assist, comes down with some grabs. Well done.
You're wondering at some point, do Bristol cross over some players onto their D-line? The likes of Mason or Allen. So when they get those break opportunities, they maybe have that kind of reliable handler to convert. The D-line has been getting break opportunities, but converting has been the issue, and as we creep ever closer to halftime, you're wondering will they make kind of a kill line, cross over some players.
Something to consider, the level of what makes a good team a great team, and it's often decision making and reliability with the disc. I think that what's maybe holding Bristol back is the fact that when you get an opportunity to punch in breaks, you need reliable decision makers. It doesn't look like their defense is having that right now. So perhaps, like you said, maybe Eddie Mason or Sullivan will cross over to that D-line, give somebody a reliable option to distribute the disc. Pull goes up here.
I believe that's Robin Mini Train with the pull. Are you familiar with the man known as Mini Train?
I'm not. Great name, though.
Just a typical match defense now. From Bristol, they've moved away from that zone. Brilliant round swing. call there.
Ooh.
Oh, and a wayward disc, the swing caught by the wind. Bristol with a big opportunity now. Shooting to the middle to Mini Train, who gets momentum going. Cameron. Big opportunity now for Bristol. Can they keep their cool? The easy swing is there. And Mini Train gets the break train rolling.
You finally see it from Bristol. Good, reliable throws and decision making from Bristol Open. And they do punch in the first break, which is a good one because sometimes in a windy situation, this is what we call the double break opportunity, going up, then downwind. So let's go ahead and see. I think Goannas are going to be taking time out.
So it's either Mini Train or Ned Morris. He's wearing different numbers on his shorts and jersey. We're a bit light on the Bristol roster here, folks, so doing our best, but definitely looks like a Mini Train. Chugging away there.
It's giving Mini Train. Choo-choo.
And as the teams take a quick moment to reflect, so we will be back in just a few moments' time with some more great action here in the Open Division.
Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. And traded the net and made for it.
That was absolutely incredible.
I worked for a Michelin star chef making gelato in Paris. I had my own restaurant in Nicaragua and a food truck in Australia. Why wouldn't you watch me? Check out my YouTube channel.
Yeah, look, all of my wins going crazy. I gotta brag on myself.
Welcome back to the London Invite 2025 here at the Grasshoppers Rugby Club. We're in the 5 to 8 bracket in the Open Division as Bristol Open have just broken the Aussie Goannas to tie this game up. We're now back on serve, I believe. Liam Grant alongside CJ. How are you getting on, CJ?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Again, really happy to be here. Not the highest quality ultimate that we're probably going to see the rest of the day, but it has gotten better. I know we were worried after that first point, but it does look like we are in for a close game.
So most of the Bristol D-line coming back out again. They got that one break. The team trusts them to get another. Fielding the pole has been a big issue for the Goannas all tournament long. But managed to field it there and get motoring upfield.
Oh, what a defensive effort there from Juma. Hunting for that layout D in the reset space and gets a full extension block. Not bad for a football player.
Brilliant defense yet again from Bristol. A chance to get 2 breaks in a row here. Can they keep their composure? That dangerous flick across field, but some fancy footwork and the bookends for Juma.
I give him a 10 out of 10 on that point until I saw that spike, and that was an awful kick spike. So 9 out of 10 points there. If we're looking for the Kennington doghouse play of the game, perhaps we might have found an early contender. A layout D to a layout grab. Very, very nice from him and Juma.
Getting the bookends there, and great shutdown defense there. Denying it. And this visionary throw, a little dangerous, but Juma great at catching the disc. Maybe not so great at kicking it.
Yeah. Twinkle toes for tapping inbounds, great. Toes for the kick spike.
You can see why he transitioned from football. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Dom nice. Issuing out the orders.
A lot of similar players on this line as well. It's they are just running through a small contingency of 7 right now.
That's 2 breaks in a row, and yeah, keeping the same lads out there.
Nice to see some of the energy back in Bristol sideline as well. Had the fortunate ability to listen to them cheer on the women's side yesterday in their win over Yaka. Women, of course, are behind us warming up for the game, so they are not able to sideline the open team, but I'm sure they would be if they could.
Goannas looking to get back into this one after taking her lead with the first break. Find themselves trailing. Honey. Now with Miller. And a quick goal for the Goannas. A clean hold is just what they needed.
You definitely don't want to get broken 3 times in a row, and that was very, very methodical from Goannas.
And it's been a tough battle for them all weekend long. Had a few injuries. Abdul Siddiq went down earlier this weekend. He's hopeful he'll be able to return for the U24 World Championships in Logroño in Spain. I think you're a bit old for that one, CJ, are you?
Yeah, it was the under-23 when I was even qualifying for it, which I definitely wasn't because I was not good enough to play. I was part of the Metro East division in college, so yeah, they actually just deny Metro East players back then from even applying.
There we see Abdul Siddiq on the sideline. You can see him hobbling around there.
He's not moving too well there.
No, not looking very sprightly. We hope for a speedy recovery and for his sake that he's able to participate next weekend in Spain. It's next week. It's a 7-day long tournament. But yeah, a brilliant player. And a shame he can't play for most of this weekend as we see Danny Alexander commanding her troops. Former World Games player and just an incredible athlete and has done so much for Aussie Ultimate. I would have picked her for the Australia World Games team this cycle. Don't know if that's a controversial take, but it's my take.
I think there's a lot of controversial takes. I had my own as the centering pass is turned over from Bristol, and Goannas have a quick chance to strike or a break.
Turner trying to command this D-line offense. Swinging the disc well. Dungy. Back to Upton. And great end zone defense there from Bristol. After throwing it away in the first pass, transitioned very well and protected the house.
Yeah, just like the around backhand just rolled over straight to the ground. Never had a chance to get to the receiver.
See a split stack there, and I don't think they got their initiation play off, but unable to find the receiver.
That's coming out. Yep. Eddie Mason just getting rid of it. Don't think Bristol receiver's going to have a chance to get it, and never a bad option for the Huck and D. I am a big proponent of that. I know it's shocking to believe as a 6'5" man, I do enjoy a little Huck and D in a windy situation, and for reasons just like that.
Yeah, well, they throw it away, Bristol, but end up getting the short field turn, so be a lot easier for them to play offense from here. Forced backhand now. I think a bit of a change in the defensive strategy for Australia. They generate turns, but Allen off to the races there, honking the horn.
Coming over to the commentator booth to let him know that he was honking the horn for us.
Yeah, not shy for an old celebration. Chris Allen, was he one of the cheeky boys? At the World Championships in Australia last year. Did he play GB?
He did play GB.
I think there was a little mini-series, OG and the Cheeky Boys, which was bizarre.
Let's see the unfortunate centering pass that did not actually cost Bristol. Yeah, that does. Chris Allen does give off Cheeky Boy vibes, so I'm guessing he was part of that little cohort.
Attacking the front cone like a wild stallion and then getting in his Morris Minor and just going for a spin.
You know, I'm going to say it. I think one of my biggest pet peeves in Ultimate is when players jump to catch disc that they don't have to jump for. And I think that the Goannas player, when obviously I'm not saying that that's why he dropped it, but it's not why he dropped it.
I think it happens a lot more in the open division as well.
Yeah.
Just on unders. I think I do it. I don't drop it though.
I don't drop.
Thankfully, I can't really jump, so it's not a big deal.
It's just, I mean, as we see here, just why you don't have to, you're catching it at your chest high. Just go out and make a catch onto it.
And now the return of the Arrowhead zone. Moss finds the inside lane. And here the call for melt coming quite early from Bristol.
Yeah, perhaps just a 5-throw zone.
Slide tackle catch there from Calder. Getting high in the stall count, but swings it the whole way around the house. Not a lot of action coming from the vert stack. Eventually we see a cut coming downfield. Honey.
That is a beautiful throw. That is a difficult, high-risk throw, but very, very well done. As we get to my least favorite point name in Ultimate Frisbee, the Galaxy point.
You absolutely love it.
I hate it. I hate it. I think
Why?
It's I just think it's so unnecessary.
I think it's a pivotal moment in the game because one team can get that mini break.
That's what's keeping us out of the Olympics.
Is it?
The Olympics actually were ready to take us, and they heard that we called it a Galaxy point, and they were like, "Actually, no, we're good."
Okay, I'm gonna fire some sports terms at you, and you can tell me if they're stupid or not.
Okay.
Sudden death.
Yeah, nobody dies.
Do you think that's okay if you're in a game? It's like, oh, sudden death.
It's overtime.
Situation.
It's just overtime.
So you don't like the term sudden death?
I don't like the term.
What about a hat trick?
I love American ice hockey, and I love throwing hats onto the ice. Like, I know if I'm going to an ice hockey match and I see somebody score a hat trick, my hat's gone.
So you're happy saying someone's scoring a hat trick?
Yeah.
Is that not bizarre? Do you know the origins of that or why we say that?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
What's it for?
Actually, we looked this up yesterday on stream. It's a cricket term if, I don't know, cricket, a bowler gets 3 wickets or something like that.
Yep.
Is the bowler a hat or some kind of, they get a hat for it, a hat trick? It's origins in cricket, but...
Well, now that I know it's a cricket term, I'm out.
You know, these things like golden goal, there's a lot of terms in sports which are weird, and they become less weird, just use them a lot. I like Galaxy Point. It's a significant moment in the game. I often find the team that wins Galaxy Point wins the game. Certainly gives them a big advantage. As a fumble comes for Bristol and presents Australia with a huge opportunity. Australia punch this one in. Sitting down is Turnbull. A very strong Australia D-line out there. Benjamin Phillip. Haven't seen a lot of the Phillip brothers in this game. Oh, and a massive layout there. Is that Mason?
Mason again, having himself a game right now, offensively and now showing off defensively. Getting a layout block for his team back after the very, very unfortunate drop earlier on as the huck from Sullivan goes up. Perfectly weighted.
A massive moment in the game now. Can Bristol keep it together? 1 yard from taking half, and they do. And the gentle spike to celebrate. Brilliant from the Bristol boys.
Looks like James Sullivan hit the goal after completing the huck. Ran all the way down the field. Scores the goal. Bristol open 8-7 at half. Not bad. Nice to see them be down early in this game, but able to rally back, hold on, even getting a layout block like we see here on the goal line.
James Sully just taking over this point. Big old buttery biscuit there, and does well to chase down the play, stay involved. And gets the goal for half. And we'll see the Bristol team take on a bit of water and have a discussion here. We'll be back with some more second half action in just a few minutes' time. Stay tuned to ULTI.TV.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Lightspeed VC, a global venture capital firm, proud to sponsor excellence and team cohesion worldwide.
I worked for a Michelin star chef making gelato in Paris. I had my own restaurant in Nicaragua and a food truck in Australia. Why wouldn't you watch me? Check out my YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the London Invite 2025. As you see the Goanna coaches gather their thoughts as they're down 8-7 to Bristol Open, who've had a fantastic first half. Liam Grant alongside CJ Colicchio. CJ, thoughts on that first half?
My thoughts are honestly a pretty even game. I feel like both teams have too many unforced errors that are both being punished but not also being punished enough, allowing their offenses to get the disc back and punch some dirty holes. From Bristol, I'd like to see less unforced errors, and I'd like to see, as we talked about, more discipline from their D-line. Their D-line is generating breaks, and I would like to see their D-line punching more, given the opportunity. From Goannas, I'd like to see less risky shots. I think that their inside looks are just not there, and they keep trying to force them. I think that they just need to have one cut. If it's not there, clear out hard, swing to disc. Their swings have actually looked really good. and I'd like to see them continue.
We're going to go through some more sports terms. Interestingly, Mike Palmer from ULTI.TV just DMing me. He's a big fan. I think he invented the term Galaxy Point, and he's quick to defend it. So some other sports terms, tell me yay or nay, or what do you think of them? Nutmeg.
Oh, a cheeky nutmeg. I do like a cheeky nutmeg.
Any idea where it comes from?
I can only assume it's out of spice-related term.
There's an explanation here that makes absolutely no sense. Nobody knows is the real answer. I'm going with that, CJ. Icing?
I mean, icing the puck, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure why that. I would assume that you're just chucking it down the ice, so therefore icing the puck.
Doesn't give me a definition, but yeah, just another term. I don't have much others. An ace in tennis?
Yeah, it makes sense. The same thing. It's like an ace in volleyball, tennis, badminton if you're really good.
Yeah, these are all the terms with juice in tennis. Tennis have some weird stuff. The 30 love thing I don't really get either.
I was teaching a couple of the guys one of my favorite phrases yesterday, which is yamming. Are you familiar with yamming?
I like yams.
So yamming, we saw it yesterday, with Whitlock when he skied Henry Ing. When you catch it over somebody, referred to as yamming on somebody.
Okay, well, let's see if Bristol can yam this one into the end zone. So Bristol, I think did they break the half? No, they scored to take half. Got the break earlier on, so back out here on offense. So
they came out on defense during the game, during the start of the game. Says the shot goes up to Allen. So Chris Allen has a bum hand. I know he's thinking about that as he's going to ground there. You could tell that he didn't really want a full sell on it.
He's got a bum for hands. Did not know that. So Bristol coming up short, and a chance for the Aussies to break right out of half here. This would be big for them. A dangerous throw. And a sniping defensive play. It looks like the call is going to be retracted.
I think everyone's kind of happy with that one. Goannas player has a thought about it and says, you know what, maybe not.
This is a different Bristol O-line, isn't it? This has been their essentially their D-line that's come out in offense. Cameron teases out a forehand, that very close to the sideline.
And not even a question from either side.
I thought it might have been a take that his hands hit the ground first out of bounds, but players on the field happy with what happened. That hammer was not on. Allen getting nutmeg there.
Yeah, Warnock with a forgettable hammer. Coach DK out here telling them not to take shortcuts. And have to agree there. It's kind of a lazy decision from Bristol right there to try to force way into it. They can work it in. They've proved time and time again as the around backhand from Goannas just kind of falls short there.
Looks like another push pass there, and they yam it into the end zone. That wasn't quite yamming, but we'll stick it in there somehow.
We'll see a yam. We will see a yam at some point or another. Trying to think of other sports phrases that we use in Ultimate that I would like.
For getting into the conversation, okay, I think it might have just been in. Good spirit from Australia. That hammer, undercooked, half-baked, not on.
That's forgettable again from Warnock, but of course it does not actually hurt them as they get the turn pretty much immediately after.
getting into ultimate terminology, I think one thing that's confusing, and I don't have a good answer for it, is when someone breaks the mark, but then when you also score points starting on defense, that is a break. It's maybe a little bit confusing at times. It'd probably be better if there was separate words for both those things. I do not have the answer for what that is.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because a break makes sense because it's just like tennis, right? You break.
I think you have to keep that one. I think that one should stay.
I think that one is. There might. What would we say?
I don't know. This is why you're here, CJ, to enlighten us.
Let's put the poll out to the viewers. Viewers, what would you say instead of a break around the mark? What would be a better terminology for that? Can't have it both.
Unlocking the mark. We need to get a thesaurus out.
You sound like my students.
You teach people?
I do teach people.
What do you teach them?
I teach them history and geography.
I didn't think there was any history in America.
Oh, what are you talking about? We have the best history.
Do you?
Speaking of learning from history, I don't think Goannas are learning from history and making these decisions. These are not great looks, and they are being punished for them.
I think they should stop swinging because they're clearly bad at it and just go back to hooking it. Oh, and that, a mysterious throw.
The old backhand to the flick side, my biggest pet peeve as a coach. I'd actually sit my players when they would do stuff like that. That is a terrible decision.
Parnell just didn't want the Frisbee anymore. He's just trying to get it away from him.
It's just a bad look. Even if the receiver made a play for the disc, there's no way he would have got it as the hammer comes across the field. Really nice shot there from Goannas. Toes the sideline.
A brave hammer and beautiful footwork. Bajuma comes flying in, a timeout being called. Unusual place to call a timeout. Felt like there was an opportunity for a quick transition there. But maybe just needing a moment to gather themselves, and Bristol call a timeout. They're up 9-7 Australia. We'll be back in a moment's time.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Welcome back to the London Invite. We're just coming out of a timeout here, folks. Bristol Open with the disc and a chance to take a 3-point lead. The Aussies starting to look a little tired out there.
It's also important to remember that games here are only 7 minutes. So it's not that Goannas would be down 3, it's the fact that they'd be down 3 with about 6 minutes left. So they need to ensure that they score this next.
Cameron shoots into traffic, but well gathered by Juma. Has had a fantastic game, has to be said.
A few players for this Bristol squad: Eddie Mason, Henry Juma, Darren Hugh, all playing really well. I don't think I've ever seen Juma catch the disc though without hitting the ground. Very theatrical. You can just tell he plays football.
Hey, you can catch it wherever you want as long as you do catch it. Cameron now trying to take over. Has that teasing forehand. That was a hospital pass. And swept away. Looks like a foul being called, Parnell. This was a very dangerous throw.
If it's a strip, I can maybe see a call for it, but Impossible to tell from us back here.
It looked like he was gesturing with a gripping motion. And I call that one a hospital pass, and that's what we call in Gaelic football. When you put something up like that and you're kind of almost inviting contact on, where you're allowing other players to run in on top of you. And I actually thought the Aussies did well there to avoid contact. Discussion going on. You can see Parnell probably a little bit flustered by the Aussies flying past him, but when you put up a disc like that,
looks like it's going to be contested and sent back. So hopefully Sam Cameron can throw a better throw that won't be contested as hard.
Yeah, not sure if he'll go for that leading forehand again.
You know what? Do it. Go for it. Just go right back.
You can see there was a poach on the open side from the Aussies, so Bristol have to go for that around backhand and extend their lead to 3.
Something, disc doesn't lie. I don't know about that one. I think that is a situation of sometimes in our sport where players make a good play on the disc, as you say, a clean, safe play on the disc. Hard to tell if Mel had the disc in his hand when that came off, but double score for Bristol there. Second opportunity.
And looks like we'll be seeing the Bristol women on stream in the next round as well. Covering a lot of their games as well this weekend. There's 4 fields and we're streaming 3 of them. I think one has a VO on it, so pretty much every game being filmed in some capacity here, but don't worry about what that AI camera is doing. Focus on the 3 ULTI.TV streams. 3 is loads. What more could you want?
I think that when AI came out, I think that was the first thing that they thought about was we can watch Ultimate Frisbee better. You know, we don't really have those in the States. I came here and every person had a VO. Every single person. Every team I went to, there was VOs all around. I did not know what these were. They are not as readily used.
Is there teams using other techniques? I've heard of teams using drones quite a lot for training sessions. That's become popular.
Yeah, drones. I'm actually a big fan of the drone view of the game, the above. I think that's a much better way to watch Ultimate than the side-to-side view that we do with Ultimate TV. But we have a great team, so don't get me wrong. But I do prefer sometimes seeing that over-the-top view that you see at national.
Is that because you're 6'5" and that's just kind of how you see things anyway?
That is. I usually see things that way.
Goannas wasting no time, tearing down the field. Thomas Lee to Turner. And this is the Australian D-line getting it done. Zachary Zabel getting the goal, and Australia down a few players in this game. Haven't seen Josh Phillip take the field at all, one of their stars. Abdul Sadiq as well, resting his legs. So they've taken on a few injuries here over the weekend, which is not what the Aussies want, but they're also getting some great game reps in.
Depth reps, right? It's not sometimes about getting your stars warm-up games. It's about getting the guys who are not on your top 2 lines, so 15 through 26. You're getting those guys some good game time reps, and what better way than playing an open team like Bristol?
No Josh Phillip in this game, but we do have, I believe, younger brother Benjamin Phillip out there. Josh has been vocal enough on the sidelines, trying to help his teammates out when he can. Beautiful scenes here at Grasshopper Rugby Club. The sun is back out again.
Time is about to go, so hopefully they get this pull off soon.
Has to be winning 2 points when time goes for
Continuance.
So this is a massive moment for Australia. Byron with a big backhand pull and an exuberant layout attempt on the sending pass. Don't think he was ever getting there.
But Mason doesn't punish him for it. Bristol still end up moving the disc down.
So Bristol with a chance to win the game, I believe. Just shy of the end zone. Yeah, communication from the sideline to take the extra pass, to not force it. Oh, a nice jinx step at the front corner. Comes flying through, rides the contact, gets the goal, and I believe that's going to be game for Bristol. Discussion about whether he was in or out. He looked into me on the initial live play. Let's see if we get a look back at that one. A few players coming across to watch the replay. Give us a few seconds, folks. We'll see if we can get a clean look at this.
Go here.
Could be an argument for force out as well. It was a good poach attempt. Oh, the bobble. I didn't realize he bobbled it. We'll get another look at that one.
Yeah, it's a difficult one in terms of there being a bobble. So it's not on this initial catch. Really nice defensive play. It's right here, the bobble. Oh, I think his foot's out. I think his left foot is out of bounds.
I think it's out as well. Hard to say. I didn't realize he'd bobbled it. Been called a goal.
Been called a goal. I disagree with that, but it's unfortunate for Goannas. His left foot is looking like it's out when that happens. So a tough goal to squander if you are Goannas. I think the game might still continue since it went off before whistle, but we'll see. They are walking back to the line.
I think the game might be over. Bit of confusion here about Bristol's kind of celebrating like they've won the game. Aussie's walking back to the line.
Bristol coach, World Games player Molly Wedge out there congratulating her team. There does seem to be a little confusion between does this game continue or is this game over? The coaches of Australia are also considering that as they're walking with each other. I think we will get perhaps some more points.
Okay, folks, not the game-winning goal, which is probably for the best, as would have been a controversial ending.
That would have been a very controversial ending. Again, I think if the game was closer, perhaps it would have been resolved a little differently. But we'll see. See if Goannas can make this a game. I do think that if Bristol score one more, then the game's over. So. Looking at other games around, Blueprint is no good, both at 13. I believe it's 14-11 to Clapham over Chevron. And what about that Ranelagh game?
I think it's 25-3.
Some say Team Canada never stops scoring against Ranelagh. Unfortunate for the lads.
Goannas playing to keep this game alive. Looked like a great catch, but ground stripped. So surely if Bristol score now, it will be game over.
Nobody helping out Sam Cameron, but Warnock does oblige. Gives it right back to Sam. You know, I don't really think of Sam Cameron as a handler, but you know.
I don't think Sam Cameron thinks of Sam Cameron as a handler. That ferocious flick down the sideline, hotly contested. Gets a second bite of the cherry and manages to hold on. Moss lasers one inside and gets the goal for Australia.
I like seeing more than an ill-advised hug kick completed. Nothing warms my heart more.
Well, that's how often these Goannas teams tend to play, is fast and furious and hucking at will. They've been struggling a little bit on the resets at times, and I think that's been down the likes of Josh Phillip and Sadiq. I think they're kind of big reset players for Australia. So going to a more flamboyant ultimate, but Moss has been fantastic, and a beautiful inside shot here.
So, barring anything crazy here, if Bristol just do what they have been most of this game, which is walk down the field, score, they will win this game.
Will be Justin Byron to pull for Australia. We don't have timekeepers here, but if they didn't think they'd be blowing whistles now, it's been a long time between points. Alexander using all the time to impart some words of wisdom. I think if his coach, you always want more time between points, but when you play at WFDF events, there's going to be someone whistling at you to get off the field.
Start berating the volunteers here. Do your job. Get them off the field.
I don't think they have them timekeeping. Rare you see it at these kind of level events, kind of up to the players themselves.
That's a next year thing. London invite. Get some timekeepers, man. I'll have a word with Ross about it.
Mason baits the foul there as he steps around for the backhand. Sends his mark flying.
Very confused why he just doesn't call contact. His defender's on the ground. You could easily just throw it around him while he's laying down there, but you know, Eddie a bit of a troll, so it's the Birmingham in him.
Bristol with a chance to win the game. Almost falling over, faking that forehand. Gatewood.
A lot of these Goannas players pulling out of bids, probably for the best, honestly.
Loving the intensity from the Australians, though. They're not going to go down without a fight. Bristol maintaining possession. Allen looking for a reset. Slow and steady is the option for Bristol at the moment. Will it win them the game? Again, another bigger round. Sully hasn't been afraid to take the deep shot, but back to Mason.
That was the deep shot.
Here it comes. It's going to be hotly contested. And it's Bum Hands Allen who collects it this time. The game-winning goal. Celebrating with his teammates. The cheeky boy does it again.
No celebration this time, I'm honestly. We see it again.
Is that a nomination for a Kennington Doghouse Play of the Game?
I still think my Kennington Doghouse Play of the Game is going to have to go to Henry Duma. He got that layout.
I
block,
agree.
Followed by the layout grab at the highlight here. Yep. As you can see, Duma, really nice full extension layout block. And even though this throw is a bit dodgy, which was about Bristol's offensive style for this game, he is able to really nice toe tap on the sideline. Yeah, Henry Duma, play of the game, well done.
Brilliant footwork in the back of the end zone there. A ballerina would be proud of the finesse.
Maybe he did ballet.
It's possible.
It's possible.
I know. I think Conrad Schloor possibly did it. I think he'd be very good for Ultimate.
I think so too. I think a lot of these Ultimate players, especially the men, need to go out and practice dancing. It's just abysmal seeing the lack of footwork and toe taps that they can have.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up there, folks. Congratulations to Bristol with the win over the Goannas. For Liam Grant and CJ Clicchio, thanks very much for watching, and we will catch you on the next ULTI.TV stream.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.